Hi, I'm Andrew Stevenson, and in today's video I'm going to show you how you can make a fun savings planner that you can slip into your KDP books. Now this is going to be an Affinity publisher, but you can do it in other sorts of publishing software. And the idea behind this sort of tracker is that there's going to be images or sections for the user to fill in so they can keep a track on how much money they've saved, and then there's going to be a totals box on the bottom. Now you can do this any way you want, but I think it's a good idea to go for a monthly tracker. You could do a weekly tracker, but monthly, then you can tie it into different themes. So as a quick example, I'm going to make a tracker for January. Here we are in Affinity Publisher. It is just a 8.5 by 11 inch book page with the bleed and margins already set up. So I've set this page up as a template in Affinity, which makes things a lot easier. So if I ever need to make an 8.5 by 11 inch planner, I go into my templates and there it is there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have the month title here. This one will be January. I'm going to have themed icons here, which the user will fill in with a number. Say if it's in dollars, I'll put $5 in the icon and colour it in when it's saved. Underneath here I'll have another bit of imagery linked to the scene, and this will be a total box. And because it's January, I'm going to tie it into the weather. I'm going to have snowflakes. So I might have snow clouds up here in the word with the word January. Then I'll have some snowflakes. I don't know how many yet. Some will be large, some will be small, to represent different amounts of money. Some will be minuscule, just as a bit of background flavour. And at the bottom we'll have a snowy hill or a snowy ground. Now the first thing to do is to find some suitable assets, and to do that I'm going to go into Creative Fabrica and I'll show you what I download. So this is what I've got so far. I have downloaded a cloud image which I've manipulated slightly, just changing the shape, and I deleted a few raindrops. This is going to be a black and white interior book, so the clouds are fine, they're in grey scale. I'll leave a link to the cloud download in the description, but it's all from Creative Fabrica. This font is the one I've downloaded. It's called Kinderrust. Again, I'll leave the link in the description. It's just a nice wintry font. Then the next thing I'm going to do is add some graphic at the bottom. It's just going to be like a snowy hill sort of thing, and in this snowy hill I will add some text to direct the user to write the total amount saved in this area here. Now I couldn't really find a bottom area that I liked, so I first of all did something technical. I switched the document setup from facing pages to singular pages, just because I wanted to get a nice circular crest to this hill and it would impinge on this page. So I just turned facing pages off, and then it'll cut off at the end of the page, which is fine. So that was my nice snowy hill. And then I did see something that I did like, but it was a bit difficult to work with. So in Affinity Designer I use this image, I grab that tree there, and I grab this bit of path and I put them into my story there. I just changed the colours of the path to work with the grayscale of the black interior. If you're doing it in colour, then by all means, splash the page with colour. Now I'm going to add some snowflakes up here so the amount of money saved can be recorded. So for snowflakes I found this illustration. I don't particularly want the face or the colour, it was just the shape and the fact it's a large circle in the middle, which means it can be written in. So I'm in Affinity Designer again, and I'm just going to edit this really quickly. Just change the colour of the interior to white, and then again I'll change that one. Perfect. So now I'll just grab the bits I need. So I've got both bits of white background and the outline. Control C to copy, and then I'll paste it and group it together. Now I'm just going to resize this because that's far too big, and I can do it by dragging the handles, the corners, or do it in the transformation box at the bottom. I'm going to go for 1 inch by 1 inch because that's quite a good size to write in. Now I'm just going to dot a few of these about the place in a random pattern. So that's enough for the large stars. And now if you imagine that the idea is that these larger snowflakes will be used to write in a larger amount of money, say $5 or £5. I want to create smaller ones so that you can write in $1. It's just gives the picture a little bit of depth, and also makes it a bit more interactive. So I'll grab one of these, copy and paste it, and then I'm going to change it into 1/2 inch, not 5. And when I'll do the same, copy and paste and just dot a few of these about. And that'll do for the smaller snowflakes. As you can see, the picture is taking on a bit more depth, but there's a lot of white space, which I'm not much of a fan of. So I'm going to go back into Create Fabrica and see if I can find some sort of dotty, dashy pattern that look like snowflakes in the distance. So here we go with a pattern added to the background. It looks a bit busy, so maybe you might want to change that, but it gives the illusion of snow in the background. All that's left to do is to change this circle and give it a fill to white. And then add the text in the bottom. This month I have saved. Shrink that down. And then draw a square. Where's my square? Maybe I'll copy those trees on the other side as well, just because you kind of lose them behind the box. And I'll export this page just to show you what it looks like. And this is the page of the book as it would appear when you publish it. Ignore the little bits of errors where I should have pulled this down so it looked like the snow was coming out of the clouds. Now I'm happy with that as it is. You might want to add a number into here, say 5s and 1s. Maybe put the denomination from where you're from. or what market you're targeting. Pounds, dollars, euros, Canadian, Australian dollars, to make it tie into the country you're aiming for. And this is for January. For February, you could have hearts and another appropriate scene in the bottom. March is spring, so we'll have spring related icons. You have, this could be a field and these could be rabbits and chicks. April, it's always wet in April, so again, clouds with big raindrops, and the bottom could be a big puddle. You could have, this could be a lawn with a sprinkler, and each bit of water from the sprinkler could be another number. Christmas could be a massive tree, presents underneath, baubles on the tree indicating the numbers. Be creative and linking into the theme, just so it's not a boring circles or squares on a piece of paper that you've got to try and fill in. Now, what can you do with these pages? You can add them into normal planners, or I'm not against the idea of just making a full book of these sort of pages, say 5 of each month, and call it a 5-year savings planner. And at the beginning of each year, so you could do it January, February, March, April, May, do that 5 times. At the beginning of each year, have a savings goal. Say, this year I will save however much, and at the end of the year, at December, you could have a certificate sort of page where the buyer could fill it out and say, this is how much I've saved this year using the planner. The other option is, of course, to make it colour. This would look a lot better in colour. Then you could do it at 1 year's worth, but have all of these images in colour. That look good too. So that is it for today's video. Hopefully that's give you some ideas to start capturing sales for quarter 4. These sort of things would be good for New Year sales and December, January sort of gifts. You could make it into a kids savings planner, something like that. So yep, that's it for today's video. Please do like, comment and subscribe. It really does help me out, and I shall see you next time.